Right, I thought I'd try something slightly different and play some chess. Not only play some chess, but record me playing chess whilst not streaming. And then maybe just upload a game at a time and see if anybody likes that kind of stuff. Chess is one of these games that I've played all my life, but never to a brilliant standard. I'm probably good for an amateur, but I've never really played competitively or anything. But I do like it. I tend to play very quick games, but I'll try and play some slower games just to make sure we can talk and think about what I'm doing. So I've got a new account which doesn't have... I usually play on my premium account, but I thought it would be a bit silly to play on that because in some ways it's nice to see the progression. So this is basically a new account. I think I made it many years ago when we were doing this as a stream, but we didn't really play on it. It would be nice if I had the Diamond membership because I like to do the reviews after the game. Maybe I'll invest into another Diamond membership, but it's kind of pricey to justify it just for a basic stream. We'll see. We'll see if this is something I'll do more or if people like it or not. So, I'm going to play online. We're going to stick to 1510. And we're just going to play. And I agreed to play fair. Now, this is a new account, so things might go a bit strange. So I'm paired up against Dava. Interestingly, I don't know what his rating is. I think it's because this account is so new, it doesn't have a rating yet. He might be someone who's really strong. It says he's from Ukraine. In terms of openings, I'm just going to mix them up. I don't know openings brilliantly well. I know something about a little bit. And I'm just going to keep things fairly simple. And see how the games develop. I also am recording this onto my computer and I need to see how on earth to upload it to YouTube afterwards or if this recording works. So it's all a bit of an experiment. He's just copied me here. Very good. Now, I'm not going to give any advice per se, but I will try and talk about what I'm thinking about, particularly for people who don't really play chess. So far he's playing very sensible moves. And I'm going to try and play what's called a bit of a stonewall structure. Here you go, it says the opening up here. Queen's pawn opening stonewall. Which usually means this pawn coming up here, this pawn coming up here, getting castled, fighting for this square. And in general, I prefer it if they don't bring the knight in here. So for now, I'm just going to guard that square with my knight. He comes out here. So here, I want to stop him from playing this. I don't really want him to do that. So I'm going to carry on with my stone wall. Chess is a lot about pattern recognition, tactics, learning how to calculate when it's important to calculate, and then just getting a bit of positional understanding where to put your pieces and try and exploit when people make mistakes. So with that move, he probably wants to bring his bishop out here or here. Here he can't bring it at the moment because my bishop's covering. It's probably here. And if it was here, it would be guarding this square, which would make it so he could jump his knight in again. That's something to bear in mind. I think for now, I'm just going to continue developing. So far he's playing reasonably well. He's not somebody who's a complete beginner. Certainly hasn't made any obvious mistakes to my mind. another reasonable move. I think I'm just going to get my king nice and tucked away. Castle. This is the first move that kind of, in my mind, I'm questioning, what is he doing? I guess his plan is potentially to come here and then castle this way. Queen's not really doing anything else here. I mean, against this, I think I've got a good move coming in here. Because I literally attack his queen, and if he takes it with his knight, I fork his pieces, which means he probably has to take it with his bishop. But I get to take this way, force this knight to move. If the knight has to move, it can only go back, because this square and this square will be covered by my queen. So all of that is probably good for me. Him having to put his pieces back. Jump the knight in. I'm actually looking to see what people are chatting, realising nobody's chatting. I'm literally not streaming live. Right, so he has taken with the bishop. So I'll follow through with my plan. I realise he can come in here, but then he does lose a pawn. Otherwise he's got to go literally home. And he does go home. So what can we do? So in general, I still need to get some of my pieces developed. I'm noticing I could potentially put some pressure on his pawn here, which most likely he'll have to move his pawns. So let's have a look. If you were to move this pawn, it protects it with the queen. To be honest, that's a reasonable move. Although, we'll then have a check here. What are my other options? I mean, this is a normal move. Swinging my other knight around here to here. Putting some pressure on this. He's probably going to come here and get castled. I can't really do anything to stop particularly. Still even material at the moment. This is another move to consider. I think I will do this move. I kind of don't want him to attack my bishop here. Just gives me a bit of freedom. Also lets my queen out this way should I need to do it. He's doing what we thought. Now one way I could stop him castling immediately is to move my queen here. Then if he castles, he drops a pawn. But then I might force him to do a good move. Query, good move? Is that a good move? It's kind of nice if you can somehow force people to do bad moves, make their position worse somewhat. It's not always that easy. So far he's played fairly solid. So if I were to come here, what am I going to do if he does this? Actually, I do have a response. If he were to do that directly, I could then check. And if he blocks, I've got bishop takes because I'm pinning against the rook. He's also got this move. Then I would have to consider the en passant. In which case I'll take with the knight. And his position's probably okay. I haven't really gained anything. But it's a developing move. I get my queen out. I think I'm going to do it. It also gives them the chance to potentially go wrong. Although it might not be wrong. We'd have to think a bit more. I am actually spending quite a lot of time. I'm realising I have to quicken up a bit. Talking and playing, I have to get used to that. When you play longer and longer games, you've got more time to go through different variations and different lines. Now I'm still having to go on instincts of what potentially are the good moves. I'm curious if anybody will like this stuff or not. I guess I will upload a couple, see if anybody's interested. And if they are, might do some more. Certainly something. Oh look, he's letting me get this pawn. So is there any downside for taking this pawn? Pawn is pawn. So I need to be careful that he doesn't trap my queen somehow. So I'm noticing he can't just move his rook here. Could I just take the rook? What if he were to bring his knight out and attack me? At the very least I could exchange queens. And if he takes my queen, I just get my rook in. I mean, it's a free pawn. Let's take it. So that was part of the point of my move, was it stopped him castling because it drops a pawn. Right, so he's simply done this to protect his pawn. So I'm noticing this square is a little bit tender and weak, but there's not really much I can do about it. I really could do with getting my bishop out. Now one thing I've always got in this structure is to move this pawn forward. Then if he takes, I get to take, and then I let my bishop out this way. Is there anything he can do that disturbs me at the moment? I'm fairly solid. I'm a bit underdeveloped here. I think this plan is reasonable. Particularly if he takes it, I get my knight into a good square. If he does ever attack my knight, I've always got ways to bring it back. Let's go for it. I do need to speed up a little bit, because if it goes for a long game, I'm going to have to start playing on instinct and not think very much. He's not really used much to his time, and he's made some mistakes. Right, so he's attacking my rook now. So I can't go anywhere along here other than here, and that's probably no good. Now if I come here, I'm actually attacking this pawn, which is nice. But then he can also come in here and attack my rook. It doesn't really do anything else. In the meantime, I could just take the pawn. Or safe would be just to bring it all the way home. I think I'm going to attack the pawn, and I'm not going to think too much. I'm not sure if this is the best move, It might be going back here is better. I'm seeing that he can come here, and at the very least I can just go back. Or I can take this pawn. I do need to be slightly careful I don't get my rook trapped. If I move my knight, the bishop is actually hitting his knight. That's something he might miss. I could in fact bring my knight here now, because my knight hopping in here hits 2 pawns, which is kind of nice. Should I take first? Does it matter if he takes and I take with the pawn, with the bishop? It's probably okay. If I come here, most likely he has to move his knight here, which hits my rook. But I can at the very least just go back, hit this pawn again. And his knight's kind of offside. In fact, if I attack it, it doesn't have anywhere to go. Maybe luring his knight in for a trap. Let's do it. There is a slight problem. There is the potential for this pawn to fork my pieces if this knight was in the way. I don't think that he's got any moves to go out the way if my knight's here, because if he moves here, I can just take his knight. I think it's okay. Okay, let's do it. Down to 6 minutes. Okay, I really need to speed up. I keep saying that, but I really do need to speed up now. So I'm hitting his knight. Does he spot it? And if he comes here, I'm going to come here, hit his pawn, but also with the sneaky attack, or sneaky possibility of trapping his knight if he comes here. Alternatively, he can bring his knight back, but then his knight's passive again, and I can still come here. He does do that. I'm not going to think, I'm just going to move, because I'm running out of time. Now he can move this pawn, or he can move this rook. He's moved the rook. I'm noticing this, but I can't really use it now. I'm also noticing if I come here and defend, he can take, I take, I'm on the rook. Then he does just attack me. I'm not sure that's any good. Or I can just simply take the rook. He's got to take with the knight. I bring the knight in. I'm hitting 2 pawns. That's probably good, actually. Probably wins a pawn. I really need to play quicker. But this is when mistakes start to happen. When you start to play quicker, and it's much more easy to blunder when you don't have the time to blunder check. So he's protecting this pawn, but I've still got this pawn. And I think my knight's not getting trapped here, so we can just do this. So I'm now 2 pawns up, which is good. It's not winning yet. I still have to put this game away, and I've slightly done myself a time. But... oh, and he resigns. And I'm not going to do a rematch because I think afterwards what I want to do is to be able to review the game. Because I think that's a good way to learn. Unfortunately, once I get diamond membership, I don't get to do this. Oh, look at this. I got a 92.1% accuracy. He's going to think I'm a cheater. And he's actually got a decent accuracy himself. And at the very end, we got to see his rating, 1069. To me, he played better than that. I'm surprised his rating's not a bit higher. But let's have a look at the game. And I like to see these things. I don't know why. It doesn't matter too much what this is, but it helps you understand. Like, he didn't really do much. He did one big mistake. I just played well. And look, I did 0 inaccuracies, 0 mistakes, 0 misses, 0 blunders. So it was just a steady, good game. So I was playing this kind of passive setup, but this Stonewall setup. So let's go through. These are all book moves. We'll have a look when there's a first big kind of... This apparently is the best move. It's just all starting stuff. So far. So as I said, this is the first time things looked a bit dodgy. I think it mainly is because I bring this knight in. I didn't realise it was quite so good. But I do a great move. I did the best move. And it literally is because, well, he did the best move in return. I did the best move. Wait, what happened then? No, I've skipped a move. Why is it doing that? Stop skipping moves. I don't always... I'm normally doing this on my phone. So what did he do wrong here? Let me just work out where I am here. C3. He did bishop b7, which again was a good move. So I did queen to f3. So it doesn't think it's the best move. So what I think is the best move? Queen to h5. I was considering this. I'm not good enough to really understand why one's different. You can go through the engine and try and work it out. But then he castled, which again is a mistake. Because it lets me take a free pawn. So now it says I'm 2.8 pawns up. I've only got 1 pawn, but it just... Also his position's a bit shaky. So he took my queen. I came in with a rook. And he came protecting this pawn. And it's kind of a passive way to defend. I don't know. But the engine thinks I'm clearly better at the moment. My move is okay. It's not the best move, but it's okay. He tapped my rook. Again, I didn't do the best move, but it's okay. And then he came to protect his pawn. I didn't do the best move, so what's the best move here? Wants me to take this. And then if he comes here, bishop to b5. Wants me to do this. Ah, that's interesting. Because now I'm attacking this twice. Wow. And his best move is to do this. Which leads me to be able to get both of his pieces. Yeah, that would have been better than what I did. But only just. So I've lost some of my advantage. So I had like 3.6 here, but I've slightly gone astray. But in my mind, I was coming after these pawns. This was the best move. And then I come in to attack both of his pawns. So to gain my advantage is going up again. He took the pawn here. I took with the bishop. He protected and he dropped another pawn, which I took. And then I think that's when he resigned. And I'm clearly better. I mean, he could have fought on, but... First game. a win. Right, I'm going to stop the recording and see if I can learn how to upload this thing. And if there's any feedback, if you think you might like the odd game of chess in your YouTube feed, do let me know. I've just had a thought. Do I wait for the music to finish? It's always awkward, isn't it? This is my music. I put some dark academia. It's nice. It's what I like to read to. I don't think I will wait for the music to finish. I'm going to pause it and finish, and we'll see you guys next time.